As the exotic doll Sierra, please help me welcome Deachin Lockman. And new to Joss Whedon's repertory company, he just came in from Canada where he's filming on Joss's horror film Cabin in the Woods, and he plays Topher, who nearly got wiped in this episode. Please welcome Fran Kranz. And we once knew her as Faith, we once knew her as True, now we know her as Echo. Please welcome Eliza Dushku. And once again, Joss Whedon.
Hello.
Okay, well, Dollhouse has been in the news a little bit lately, so I think let's just kick things off a little bit by getting a bit of a status report on where things stand right now with the instantly legendary 13th episode, the talks with the networks, however you want to update us on all that I think we'd love to know.
Yeah, okay. Basically, some of you may have heard that there is a sort of floating episode, the 13th, and of course the question of renewal. Basically, what I've been talking with the network and the studio, which are two very separate entities, although they have the same name, about this episode. It was made for the studio because they needed a 13th for foreign and DVD. Many of you know this. And then the network had already paid for their 13 and had no intention. They didn't even watch us make it. We made it sort of on the cheap. It's a very strange and to me extraordinarily lovely episode. And they weren't necessarily going to air it, and Fox Studios was sort of going, this DVD extra, we'll sell all the DVDs in the world. So they weren't really pushing it on the network. I've been sitting down with them and saying, I just want this to air as part of the season. I'm really proud of it. It's unbelievably strange. The work that all of these guys do in it is phenomenal. And they have said, okay, we're going to take a look at it. They've been talking to each other. And so the jury is out right now on that. We also talked about next season. And they called me specifically to say, we've been hearing you sound a little despondent. Be very clear about this. Show is not canceled. The numbers have been soft, but the demographic is wonderful. The DVR is great. They are big fans of the show, and they are just, they're waiting to see what happens. And so right now, I've gone from a place of sort of, they don't even care, nobody loves me. I'm old. And then she changed everything. To a place of, God, I can't believe I'm saying this, hope. And we might actually get the chance to do the thing we're dying to do, to tell more of these stories with these crazy people, because we have so many more yet to come. So basically, it's about what happens in the next few weeks. We're going to have a new lead-in. We're going to have, we have a few more episodes coming up, whether it's 12 or 13. They are fierce. They are ridiculous. I'm so proud of them. So I know that, we're going to go out this season with a bang, and hopefully we'll get to come back for one too.
Episode 12, the one that's called Omega, now that was intended to be your season finale. That works as a season finale, I take it.
Yes.
Because this 13th is quite off the charts in terms of...
Well, the birth of the 13th was, very strange. They just said, can't you do a clip show? And I'm like, that seems lame. Can you show the pilot? I'm like, not only would it make no sense, but we've cannibalized it for parts. And it appears in almost every episode. So we couldn't do that. And they're like, but we promised foreign and DVD 13, it's a thing. We have to have it. And I'm like, look, I can't help you with your problem. Okay, I'm an artist. But I could shoot a weird post-apocalyptic horror movie on the sets, on video with a whole new cast for about half pattern and pepper it with scenes of these people and do it while we're filming everything else concurrently, and it won't cost you hardly anything, and it'll be the strangest, most awesome thing you ever had. And they're like, you had us at half pattern. And we made it, and I'm so proud of it. Jed and Marissa wrote it. I started writing it, and they had to take over. I had to stop, and they just kicked it out. And I watched it and went, oh wow, this was an amazing 7 seasons. It was a great capper. Oh. So it's got that kind of resonance. It's pretty intense. But I have to say, episode 12, should that be the last thing that we put on the air this season, or any season, is, you know, I got 2 words about that: Tim Onier. That boy's not well. And it's all there in glorious Technicolor.
Well, hope sounds good to me. But this has been a not unbumpy ride to some extent. I mean, from a pilot episode, a first pilot that never aired, to the 13th episode, which we don't know what the fate will be, it has been a little bumpy. And last night even you talked about how, by comparison to what happened with Dr. Horrible and the easy road that had in many regards, and then coming into the birthing process of Dollhouse, I guess my question is whether this was an unusually difficult birthing process for a show, or whether just because it's you coming back to TV, it was subject to so much more scrutiny under the microscope from the minute it was announced and all of that. But it did have its bumps getting on the air.
This was a normally difficult birthing process that I was abnormally whiny about. And certainly, you know, having every, you know, blink of an eye on the web made it, you know, seem a little bit bigger. But I do think that anybody who worked on the staff can attest that I was just a huge pain in the ass the whole time. Because, yeah, I had just done this thing where it's like, oh, let's just write it. Oh, let's just film it. Oh, let's just stream it. Oh, let's just sell it. Done. And then I had to go through the exact same process I'd gone through on all my shows. You know, Buffy got picked up for mid-season. Angel got shut down. Firefly, that went perfectly, right? But I just, my tolerance for it was, and honestly, that and the fact that I have kids now, those both made it much harder for me to go, but just love it. Why can't you just love it the way I do? But that's not actually how it works. You know, we had to meet in the middle, and it took us a while to do that. But I don't think it was, you know, it became the stuff of legend, but it wasn't actually legend while it was happening. I think the only thing that really should be called legend is the tolerance and patience of our cast. We did not shoot a single episode in the order in which they aired. I literally had to send them memos. This is what you know. This is what you don't know yet. This is, you know, what you will know, but I haven't figured out yet because it's from later. It was just, yeah, you can't tell the players not a scorecard.
Well, Eliza, for you and for Joss, this represented a return to TV for you. And when you met for this fabled lunch where the whole thing began, what was your, you know, what did you express in terms of the kind of character, the kind of thing that you wanted to have to bring you back to TV? What was your goal in either meeting with Joss, pitching Joss for a show, or just what kind of character you wanted to play?
Well, I first and foremost just enjoy the guy. He's a friend. He's fun to hang out with. He was sort of one of my closest friends, even though after Buffy we didn't really hang out that much. When we did, it was good times, and I felt like out of everyone that I'd worked with in my career, he was just one of the most, you know, just intelligent, and you know, my mother is a feminist, and he's just a powerful and